Welcome to Spotlight by BrandXStudio.in. Today I am here at WorldSquare Tower, wherein you will find luxury and premium flats at affordable price. And they also have residential layouts and also villa plots. So the WorldSquare is a real estate company in Hubballi, founded in 2018 by two young energetic minds. That is Mr. Yogesh Habib and Vardhan Shridhar. Let's have a candid talk with Mr. Vardhan and try to understand what is his vision behind making all these massive buildings in Hubballi, Karnataka, which in my opinion are very premium and luxury in nature, and also they are at very affordable price. Welcome to Spotlight by BrandXStudio, Mr. Harsh.
Very thanks. I think it was very long awaited, and
Correct.
finally we made it.
Right.
Thank you for being for allowing me to be in the show.
Right. Thank you so much. So my question would be like, why a real estate business as such you have taken up as your career, or else I would put across it in another way, like why not any other business? Why real estate business you have started as your career?
So when I have started my career, my business entrepreneurship journey very early when I was 21. Since my family was into business, so when I started my career, it was with my family business, which was actually construction, basically construction of roads and other building construction work. From there, I think I got this instinct that this infrastructure is an industry which will be the next big thing in India. And then I had a couple of other ventures, and then finally your question, I mean, how I moved to real estate is I got a chance to work with one of the leading developers of India for a very short span of time, around 8 months. And there, the exposure that I got, and there I have decided that organized real estate is something which will be the next big thing. And there I think finally I have decided that I'll be into real estate business for rest of my career, I would say.
Usually I have this conception or a thought that we have seen a real estate growth in last 20-25 years, right? So now what is the future of real estate? Because when we say, what I feel is the growth has been already occurred. That's how people have this conception in a similar mindset. Some people say that there is a lot more to grow. So what are your views on, like, from the current state, like when we see plots or the residential flats, right? We see they are at a very peak at its pricing, right? So is there any scope for the people who are thinking of investing in real estate has more future in this?
I would divide the timeline into two parts so that it would be easier for me to explain you how the real estate has evolved in I think last 5 to 6 years. We divided into the post-COVID and the pre-COVID era.
Okay.
Now before COVID, generally some of the people, or we can say 20-30% of the people, would have never thought of having a separate home from their parents, or maybe a different home, or maybe a third home we can say, second or the third home. But after COVID, things have changed. Most of the people who are working in Bangalore and bigger cities has to come down to their own cities.
Own cities, correct.
And when they came back, the concept of social distancing was there.
Correct.
So, the demand for housing has increased, I would say. So I would say that COVID has been really a boom for the real estate business.
So we can take an example to understand more, like before we used to have one vehicle per family. Now every person has his own vehicle with him, like as a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler.
Absolutely.
So in the same way, people are adopting this nature of having their own home as their private property, and also they would like to have a privacy in their life. That's what is the primary concern.
Absolutely. Earlier it was what used to like maybe you must have also seen there was only maximum 1 or 2 earning members in the family.
Correct.
Back, you take 15-20 years back.
Right.
Nowadays, you find 60 to 70% of the family members are now earning.
Correct.
So the disposable income of the family is increasing. Now, since the Indians have that typical mentality of saving, which is not there in the West. So with the increase of the disposable income, definitely their first preference is having their own house or maybe having a parcel of land.
So people tend to have this conception of either to buy a home for themselves or as you told about savings, right, putting their money in real estate as an investment. So what preference would people have to consider when they want to invest, like either to buy it for themselves to use it or mostly for the investment purpose?
Completely depends.
Yeah.
The first thing which I always suggest, any customer who comes to me or to my friends or to my relatives, the first thing which I suggest them is, if you are earning good, if you're having a good disposable income, you should have your own home by the age of 26. First thing, whether it's a flat or it's a 1 BHK or a 2 BHK, according to your income level, you should have your house at the age of 26. Now, second thing is completely depends on your income. Like what I would suggest is, whatever you are earning, at least 40 to 45% of it should go into a EMI of a housing loan. Very important. So I would suggest that when you are 26, you need to have a house of your own. Whether you come from a, an ancestrally you have multiple houses, doesn't matter. 40% of your income should go. Rex 60% you can spend, it's completely disposable, but at least 40%, and that is the minimum level which should go. And now in investment also you have multiple options, like people have mutual funds, people have shares, you have gold.
Correct.
What I would suggest for next 20 years, real estate is one of the safest,
absolutely,
and most gaining investment opportunity in a country like India.
So as far as investment is concerned, right, people has this thought of where to invest in real estate, either for a flat or a plot or a villa plots for that matter. But then also the location is also a concern. These days we see a lot of residential or the layouts or the plots have been developed mostly outskirts of the prime city areas. So what is your opinion on considering those kind of projects for a person who is willing to invest?
That is a very good question, Hunain. I really thank you for asking this question, and that is the vision that we has in WorldSquare. You see any of our projects, any of the WorldSquare projects, whether it is apartment or open plots or commercials, whatever you will see, you will find the property in the residential area.
Okay.
I'm seeing even in Hubballi, I see people are buying plots 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 10 kilometers away from the city. And still I believe the property lies in the same condition for the next 10 years.
That's what.
And ultimately you are losing your money, ultimately you are losing interest on that money, ultimately you are losing, say I have bought a plot in outskirt, but I thought yaar bahut sasta mil raha hai,
that's what I was coming to.
खरीद लेते हैं and लेके डाल दिया. What is future? आप थोड़ा सा महंगा खरीदिए, but get it in the city limits. आप उसको कंस्ट्रक्ट कर सकते हो, आपको loans facilities मिलेंगे. Immediately you can start getting income tax benefits also. The concern is, if you take a call that I have to buy a property, it has to be within city limits. Very important. Otherwise, what will happen is after some time you will lose interest. यार ठीक है अभी बहुत दूर खरीदा है, रेट तो नहीं बढ़ रहा है, चलो इसको बेच देते हैं. And you lose your money.
Absolutely. Well, as you told about pricing, right? Most of the people tend to have this conception that the plots which are away from the city are getting at the very cheaper rate, but then they end up, as you told, they end up losing money because they do not get the right value after 10 years also.
True.
So as for this, I would like to shift our concern to the real estate topic as a whole, to your projects basically right now. So I would like to know what projects you have right now. That is your one of the famous project which I am aware about is WorldSquare Tower. So what amenities or the features you guys are providing and the offers you guys have. Along with that, also the other projects which you are working on, because the people who are watching this video will get an idea about the real-time work what you guys are working on.
Yes. So I think WorldSquare Towers is our signature project. If I go back, I think 5 years, 2018, when it was the first time that I visited Hubballi, me and my senior director, we had that vision of getting the lifestyle of Bangalore and Bombay to Hubballi. But then we realized that here the concept of apartment is still not that flourishing. People have that thing in their mind that if I'm investing, you know, anything above 40-50 lakhs, I would rather prefer investing in Bangalore. But then the second thought that we had is if we can, you know, get those amenities and good lifestyle and the kind of designs of apartments, like as you can see, the French elevation that they have, instead of windows, we have the big glass doors. It is the one part which makes it exclusive, which makes it different from the other projects that were there in Hubballi. So then we thought that if these things can be brought down to Hubballi with a reasonable cost, then people will prefer it. And we got an amazing response. In last 4 years, we finished one building, 3.5 years. We've started the second one. The booking numbers are really good. People are appreciating. People have already started, you know, coming. They have started their interiors, and I would rather say that they have welcomed the concept of community living, which was there earlier, which was there in Bangalore and Bombay. So yeah, we got a great success with this project, and we endeavor to, you know, get any of similar kind of projects in Hubballi maybe in next couple of years. But now we envision to have similar kind of integrated townships wherein we can give maximum facilities to people even in the plotting projects.
Okay.
So this is the next vision that we are coming up there. We have already started working on this.
So talking about your vision, so we saw that you are aiming to construct around 5,000 units in next 5 years. Right? What is your strategy behind that? How are you going to achieve that?
See, we vision to sell 5,000 units in the form of a residential apartment or a villa or a open site for construction. You can say around 12 to 1400 in our basket for now, adding further.
Correct.
Every year we are adding minimum 300 to 350 units into our basket.
So we have that experience also, right?
हाँ जी बिल्कुल. लोगों के दिमाग में हम back of mind हमेशा वो रहता है यार, ये बोल रहे हैं but होगा
कि नहीं.
That was important. When we started the courtyard, हम बोल रहे थे कि 8 months we can start with the construction, we will finish the development work. लोगों को नहीं believe होता था, but then now when they come and see us, we came 3 months back, कुछ भी नहीं था, and now you have done with the development.
Correct.
So it was very important that you deliver, and once you start delivering, what happens is automatically the trust of the people increases.
It's so pleasure to see this wonderful tower standing still, right?
Yeah.
So how was your experience building this in last 3 years?
So basically experience तो ऐसा है कि बहुत डिमांड है. I mean, WorldSquare Towers, लोगों के आप कहीं भी जाओ, किसी से भी पूछो, people लोग कि हाँ यार जेके स्कूल के पीछे एक ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट है, people talk about the project, अच्छा लगता है सुन के.
एक लैंडमार्क हो गया है आज.
It's a landmark है, और आप देखते, अगर आप यहाँ 2020 में आए होते ना, आपको यहाँ पे कुछ भी नहीं दिखता.
बराबर.
Just because of WorldSquare Towers आज यहाँ के प्राइसेस इतने फास्ट इंक्रीज हो गए हैं, और यहाँ
बाकी सारे प्रॉपर्टीज पे भी इम्पैक्ट पड़ा है.
बहुत इम्पैक्ट पड़ा है. इनफैक्ट आप देखिए ना, यहाँ पर जो लेआउट्स थे, वहाँ पर प्राइस जब हम स्टार्ट किए थे तो 1200 रुपीज प्राइस था. अभी यहाँ आपको 4000 रुपीज में भी प्लॉट नहीं मिलेगा पर स्क्वायर फीट. इतना. सो दिस इज द ओवरऑल इम्पैक्ट दैट द WorldSquare Towers had.
You are also very concerned about making it very affordable, right? So at the same time you are providing all the luxury facilities to your flats. So how you are coping up with that ideology ki? At the same time you are offering it at a very affordable and very reasonable pricing also. So what is your thought about it?
Basically क्या होता है उन्नयन जी कि अगर हम efficiently हमारे resources को utilize करते हैं, तो हमारे पास certain brackets होते हैं जहाँ पर हमें लगता है कि हम without compromising with the overall price हम अच्छी चीज़ें दे सकते हैं अपने customers को, branded चीज़ें दे सकते हैं. तो we know those points wherein जहाँ पर हमको किसी भी तरह का कोई भी ब्रांड कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ नहीं करना है. There are certain items जो the first preference of people कि वो उसकी ब्रांड का हमको यूज़ करना है. जैसे कि अगर हम इलेक्ट्रिकल की बात करें तो एंकर है, हैवेल्स है, ये सारे ब्रांड ऐसे होते हैं जो लोगों को अट्रैक्ट करते हैं कि यार इफ़ यू आर यूजिंग दोज ब्रांड्स देन ऑब्वियसली आपकी चीज़ प्रीमियम हो जाती है, तो उसमें हम कोई भी कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ नहीं करते.
That's what I'm trying to understand, that whatever flats we have seen or the structures we have seen, right, this stands out with the design concept.
बिल्कुल देखिए डिजाइनिंग में दो पार्ट्स होते हैं, एक होता है एस्थेटिक्स और एक होता है फंक्शनैलिटी. बहुत कम डिजाइनर्स ऐसे हैं जो कि एस्थेटिक्स और फंक्शनैलिटी को बैलेंस करते हैं. कुछ डिजाइनर्स आपको मिलेंगे जो बहुत अच्छे सुंदर देखने वाले फ्लैट्स बना देंगे, बट पता चला कि आपको लाइट ही नहीं आ रहा है, हवा नहीं आ रहा है, अंधेरा है पूरे घर में. और जब वो फंक्शनैलिटी बहुत अच्छा होता है तो एस्थेटिक्स कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो जाता है. बट इस प्रोजेक्ट में आप देखेंगे कि एस्थेटिक्स और फंक्शनैलिटी दोनों का बराबर ध्यान रखा गया है, तो आपको देखने में भी फ्लैट उतना ही अच्छा होगा, करेक्ट, प्लस फंक्शनली भी आपको उतना ही अच्छा यूटिलिटी मिलेगी. सो दैट थिंग्स वी टेक केयर ऑफ इन WorldSquare.
So apart from your construction work, from the WorldSquare's point of view, what impact you are creating in the Hubballi region?
हाँ जी, देखिए, so we have our own NGO called the WorldSquare Foundation, जिससे हम different projects करते हैं. जैसे हमने कोविड में आपने देखा होगा, we used to have vans, we have to give we used to help KIMS also for the different what you call the drives that they were doing, the oxygen drive, the food drive. So we always see it is very important to give back. अगर आप सोसाइटी से कुछ ले रहे हो तो बहुत ज़रूरी है कि you give back. Correct. So in WorldSquare Foundation we take care of that aspect as well. तो बहुत सारे इवेंट्स चलते रहते हैं, हमारे इवेंट्स भी बहुत सारे होते हैं. जैसे आप देखते होंगे रिसेंटली हमने एक बहुत अच्छा इवेंट किया था, द डांडिया इवेंट, और भी ऐसे डिफरेंट इवेंट्स होते रहते हैं, डिफरेंट ड्राइव्स हम करते रहते हैं अलग अलग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के साथ में, टू मेक श्योर दैट वी गिव बैक टू द सोसाइटी, विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दो नाउअडेज इट इज़ एन एलिमेंट्री पार्ट विद in terms of corporate social responsibility, बट हमको ये लगता है कि ठीक है, दैट इज समथिंग विच इज़ इन बुक्स. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि कुछ तो जाना चाहिए सोसाइटी को वापस. सो वी मेक श्योर कि we give something back to the society. So that is the vision behind the WorldSquare Foundation.
With this discussion, I'm just I was very curious about what makes WorldSquare project, right? So based on our discussion, I got to know that कि आप कितने गहराई से ये सारी चीज़ों को एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हो और कितने important लोग इसमें जुड़े हैं. It's not that only a person behind the company is making it happen at the all time, but then you have discussed about designers, you discussed about the कारीगर्स and also about the construction workers. तो ये सारी चीज़ों से मुझे लगा कि क्यों WorldSquare एक प्रोजेक्ट ऐसा है जो सारे प्रोजेक्ट जो हुबली में चल रहे हैं उससे डिफरेंट एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है. बट देन ये सारी चीज़ें मैं आपके साथ जानते हुए मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा. वॉट एवर इन्फॉर्मेशन आई हैव गेन्ड, आई एम वेरी प्रिविलेज एंड हैप्पी. इट वॉज रियली नाइस टॉकिंग टू यू फ्रॉम an hour, and so it was really wonderful.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद उन्हें जी.